Following the release of Matt Reeves' box office hit, The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson in 2022, it was revealed that the highly appreciated movie will be part of a trilogy like that of Christian Bale's Caped Crusader. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Right after the box office success of the movie, Warner Brothers had greenlit the project for a trilogy. Perhaps it's time to take out your tissues over your black capes, because Gotham might be losing another Batman. Yep, it's looking real gloomy, because we've already been facing the dreadful delay situation with Robert Pattinson's The Batman 2. And now, reports suggest that his broody eyes and emo eyeliner might be facing the axe. And who warned us about this ages ago? Zack Snyder fans, of course. They've been waving red flags louder than a bat signal. Now, James Gunn is reportedly scouting for his own version of the Dark Knight for the rebooted DC Universe, and things aren't looking good for Robert Pattinson's Batman. Robert Pattinson's The Batman 2 might be cancelled as James Gunn is reportedly searching for a new Dark Knight. Gotham feels doomed. And now, as fans' hopes of seeing Robert Pattinson don the black suit began slipping into the Gotham shadows, the rumors became more real than ever. Canadian film critic John Campea took to his podcast to share fresh reports of how the Batman sequel might not even see the light of day since it has been secretly cancelled. I think it's more likely that the Batman 2 gets cancelled. What started as a delay has now turned into something scarier, a full-on cancellation. With a new boss in town, James Gunn steering the ship, it seems that Robert Pattinson's noir-flavored Gotham might not fit into the shiny, rebooted DC Universe plans. And so, no matter how tough it might get to swallow, it seems that Pattinson has hit a dead end with his Batman. Initially, being in development for almost 3 years, it was revealed by Warner Brothers that Part 2 will be released in 2026. But later on, with Matt Reeves' script being incomplete, the release date got pushed back by a full year to 2027. That's when fans' impatience turned into fear, giving birth to cancellation rumors. Although Campea didn't mention any names, there appeared rumors of the Reacher star Alan Ritchson, and it ends with us actor Brandon Sklenar being in the run for the role of the new Batman. While these are all rumors from sources and netizens, people are starting to see these two stars getting repeatedly associated with the DC hero. Meanwhile, during his podcast, John Campea implied that James Gunn is on the hunt for his Dark Knight, a new, rebooted Batman who fits into the shiny new DC universe he's building from scratch. Considering how Robert Pattinson's Caped Crusader was passed of Elseworld, Gunn is reportedly looking for a Batman 2.0, if you will. As of now, nothing is officially confirmed, but the bat tears are already flowing. Fans are wondering if Nirvana-playing, vengeance-screaming Robert Pattinson will return to the silver screen with the Batman 2 or if it will turn into a real heartbreak. Now, although Robert Pattinson's Batman was always meant to stand alone, it seems that with James Gunn being in power, the DC CEO is willing to go forward with his vision about connectivity. Rather than allowing Pattinson to be the Batman from Elseworld, Gunn is reportedly willing to cancel the trilogy altogether and cast a new Batman actor for his DC universe. Ben Affleck's tenure in the DCU was riddled with uncertainty, and moving ahead, the actor exhibits no interest in donning the cape, especially with the DCU ceasing to exist. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. This isn't to say the actor completely hated being Batman, as even though he did confess about the role being excruciating, he did love working with Zack Snyder. Moreover, it was the misalignment between the studio and the filmmaker's approach that exacerbated the situation, which ultimately contributed to the debacle of Justice League's theatrical version. Ben Affleck elaborates on the creative conflict between Zack Snyder and WB that doomed 2017's Justice League. From being pushed to trim Dawn of Justice for its theatrical release to the Justice League debacle, which only aggravated in the wake of Snyder's exit after a personal tragedy, the DCU never recovered from these mishaps. Reflecting on the clash between the studio and Snyder's vision, Affleck stressed that the tension between the WB's more commercial vision for the story and Snyder's distinctive take ultimately doomed the final release. The DCU's early shortcomings can be linked to WB's obsession with banking on the MCU's cinematic formula. But unlike the MCU, which, for better or worse, was heavily driven by its studio approach, in the DCU's case, the studio interference didn't chime well with Zack Snyder, who had his own style to model his stories. The Snyder Cut, so to speak, is actually the movie that Zack wanted to make. Although both Snyder and Affleck have moved on from their DC roots and are now content with their new chapters in the showbiz, at the very least, the BVS filmmaker did get to end things on a good note with the DC brand. He recalled, via GQ. You have a director with a very clear idea of the kind of story they understand and want to tell and they know. And then you've got a commercial expectation, like a very valuable IP property. And sometimes they'll hire this person for their distinctive take and view, and then want to impose on that something different. And the tension between those two things, I think, was very difficult and caused the first movie to feel very much like neither fish nor fowl. Which happens. Fortunately for fans and Snyder, before the plugs were eventually pulled from the struggling DCU, WB did fold to the Snyder Cut movement, allowing the Rebel Moon director to realize his original vision with ZSJL. The bat suits are horrendous to wear, they're incredibly hot, they don't breathe, they're made to look the way they want them to look. There's no thought put into the human being, inside of it, so what happens is you just start sweating. I sweat, I get hot, in that thing you just start pouring water because it's got the cowl over it. Despite his initial hiccups with the role, similar to Snyder, his DCU journey did end on a satisfying note, thanks to The Flash, in which Affleck finally found his groove in the shoes of Batman. Zack Snyder's Justice League is currently available to stream on Max, USA. In addition to finding himself amid the creative conflict between the studio suits and Snyder, Ben Affleck further hated being in the Batman suit. Contrary to its appearance, which screamed IRL Batman, in practice, the suit proved to be a painful experience for the actor, as he detailed, there's no thought put into the human being. Is Marvel finally getting a little darker with Thunderbolts*? Because this crew definitely isn't here to play nice? Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Marvel Studios is clearly stepping into a new territory with Thunderbolts*, and longtime fans of darker superhero stories are paying close attention. The upcoming movie has done something that no movie of the MCU has achieved before. While it still keeps its PG-13 rating, the movie has been given a special, strong violence label in its official rating that hints at much stronger action scenes than usual, as per the direct. Marvel's going a little darker, and honestly, it's about time. The studios is ready to shake things up with the upcoming Thunderbolts*, and if the recent updates are to be believed, this movie could mark a turning point that the MCU has been looking for in recent years. Thunderbolts** just became the first Marvel movie to get PG-13 with a special note for intense violence. And it's safe to say that, unlike past entries, it's not going to limit itself to family-friendly content. And fans who've been waiting for something a little less shiny and a little more intense are here for it. Moreover, even Zack Snyder would probably give this one a nod of approval. These characters have rough pasts and include Yelena Belova, Bucky Barnes, Red Guardian, Ghost, U.S. Agent, and Taskmaster are all used to fighting for survival, not fame. They don't always agree or trust each other, but they've been brought together for a dangerous mission that only they can handle. These changes show that the studios are ready to bring forth a more intense storyline. While fans are definitely happy about this move will definitely impress Zack Snyder, who's known for his gritty and dramatic superhero movies. For the plot, Thunderbolts** focuses on a team of misfits,